This is Colleen with Chats with Colleen. We are so glad that you're here joining us. Today is a little announcement. I am looking for potential guests to join our shows for our biweekly podcast that we release. They can be recorded in person in Lake Mary or via Zoom anywhere in the world at your convenience. The whole time takes about an hour, and we so appreciate you joining us, is to promote you and your businesses. So I have a couple ideas of people with careers, experiences that I'm looking to interview. Number one, I would like to interview somebody that's been on a dating app and maybe had a nightmare date from one of those experiences. I think that would bring a lot of awareness to the world, to people. I've never experienced online dating because that was like way before my time when I got married. So that's how old I am. So I would like to know if anybody's had any nightmares from that. I would also like to interview somebody who's worked in a jail. I'm really interested in true crime. I would like to hear about the experiences from inside a jail. That's number two. Number three, I would like to interview a PI, somebody who, spies on people to get information, maybe for a husband, a wife, a workers' comp company, something like that. Somebody who stakes out people and tries to gather information on them behind the scenes. That's number three. Number four, I would also like to interview a teacher. I've interviewed a PE teacher. I would like to interview a teacher who teaches educational, math, science, English, history, something like that. I think now a lot has changed since my child, was in school. So I'm sure it's a lot different. So I would love to interview somebody doing that. I would also like to interview somebody who works in the ER. Even though I'm afraid of blood and needles, I'd still like to hear about it. So that I would really appreciate any of those. Those are just a few of those careers and experiences that I would like to interview. But if you have any ideas of an experience that you want to share, please reach out and join us. We appreciate you. Thank you and enjoy the show. Hello. Hi, this is Colleen with Chats with Colleen. We are here again for our third part of our series with Angela Aki. We're going to talk about Legal Shield, which I've heard about this in the past, but I'm very intrigued about it, interested to learn so I could possibly start promoting it and selling it to my own clients. But Angie is going to give us the down low on it and tell us exactly what it is. So Angie, what is Legal Shield?
So Legal Shield is a legal membership, basically. So you and we'll talk about the different plans, but you as an individual or a business owner can have access to affordable legal services. And I think that's the biggest piece is affordable legal services in a form of a membership. So you pay a monthly fee, whether or not you utilize the service or not, but we want you to utilize the service. We actually have something that's like 101 different ways that you can utilize your Legal Shield plan because we want you to use it. But you're paying that membership fee monthly, and that gives you access, depending on the plan you have, to a certain number of consultations, phone calls, document reviews, and things like that. So it's a membership subscription type affordable legal service.
Which I like the word affordable because I know anytime I've had to contact an attorney for anything, it's anywhere from like $250 to $500 an hour, depending on their ranking or how long they've been practicing or where they practice at. So it can become extremely expensive. So affordable is key, especially in today's economy.
Yep. Yep.
And then who can benefit from it? Probably anybody, right?
Well, yes. So I believe yes, because we have individual plans, right? And we have Legal Shield and ID Shield. So I'll include that as well because that's identity theft protection. And
Oh, yes.
unfortunately, in the world that we live in with everything that we're doing digitally, that's key as well. So if you think about anyone, right? Individuals, then everyone's online, right? Everyone's data is online. And so to have that identity theft protection where, gosh forbid, something happened, we have licensed private investigators that will work on it. We have a $3 million fraud protection insurance as part of ID Shield. So from that perspective, if you do anything digitally or online, or even if not, your personal information, it's out there. So I would say with identity theft, everyone. Um, Same thing with Legal Shield. I truly believe everyone can benefit from it, whether it is on an individual plan or we have small business plans as well, or both. So a lot of our members have both, and a lot of our members have been with us for a really long time. But for the individual plans, document review, lease review, mortgage document reviews, power of attorney, financial power of attorney, will, healthcare surrogate. So all of those things you can get done as part of your individual plan or individual and family plan. Even some plans include uncontested adoption, divorce, name changes, and things like that, IRS audit services. So the list goes on and on. And really, for me personally, and it's fun to hear how people have used it in different ways. But for me personally, I had a question, about something with my parents that I was dealing with, and just simply called and talked to an attorney. And it's so the peace of mind you get from getting actual legal counsel in an issue instead of asking a friend or Googling, right? A lot of people Google legal advice. Well, that's a really slippery slope. But being able to pick up the phone and talk to someone and get an appropriate legal consultation, the weight that was lifted off my shoulders and the sense of relief was awesome. And we can talk about small business plans as well, but I believe really anyone can benefit from it.
Small businesses, what kind of plans can they get with this legal shield?
And so we have small business plans. We have three different types of plans. And so it depends on the type of business you have. We have one plan that is for if you're operating only within one state, that's probably a good plan for you. With a couple users, you get document review, you get consultations, recently, I've had people sign up for the debt collections piece, because if you have an accounts receivable issue at all, even if it's a minor one, or you don't want to be the person to make those collection calls because you're close to your customers, then Legal Shield will do that for you as part of the small business plans. And they don't keep any of the funds, they help you recover, where a lot of services do. So that's a great one. Some of our plans include if you're operating in multiple states, so they'll include multiple states. Some plans include trademarking and copywriting. We have a very affordable employee handbook option add-on. They include IRS audit services as well. So if you get audited by the IRS, that's included. You can do a trial defense supplement too, right? So I know a lot of things, and I know, Colleen, you talk a lot with your insurance products, right, about risk, right? We always talk about risk and exposure. And so, unfortunately, living in a very litigious world, your business may be exposed. So if you have the trial defense supplement, which is $15 a month, you have that protection in the event that you get sued. So you already have pre-trial and trial hours as part of that as well. So we have a lot of different plans depending on what you need. But from the individual plans, right? They start, or the ID Shield plans start at less than $15 a month at time of this recording. And then the most expensive small business plan we have is $169 a month. So if you think about that, and that's like having an attorney, down the hall for you, some of the services that they provide. So if you think about the affordability of that, it's so affordable, and you can call, and the access we have for the individual and family plans, we have 24/7 access, right? We have ticket assistance and things like that. So if you ever need to talk to an attorney, you can literally push a button. And I've heard a lot of people use this, right? And share them. They'll get the plan with their kids when they're going off to college, because they want them to have, access to an attorney at any point in time, because life doesn't happen between 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, right? And so you need someone that you can count on to have your back at all hours and not have to pay an arm and a leg for that service.
It's a small price to pay for protection. And like I always like to say, insurance doesn't cover anything. It's for, accidents, accidental losses, accidental injuries, and the case goes on, but everything isn't covered. So this is like an add-on for anybody, especially their family, because like you said, it's scary when your kid goes to college, even if it's in the same town, it's scary when they move. Like my son now lives a whole 1,000 miles away and like 8 states away from here, and he's still in my eyes a minor, even though he's in his 20s, but he's still like my responsibility, and he could still get into like some legal trouble, even if it's just something minor like a car accident or something, and he wouldn't really know what to do,
Yeah.
so he could speak to somebody. That's great.
Yeah, many people don't know what to do, right? They just
Oh,
it's scary. And so instead of feeling that fear and that uncertainty, you have that security and that comfort knowing that you have this protection, right? And even, I know people get really nervous, right, with the IRS and audits and
oh
things like
yeah,
that. Well, wouldn't it be nice to say, "Oh, here's my legal team, here's my attorney's information," you
I
know?
know. Anytime I get a letter from the IRS, well, I know it's either a bill or
Yeah.
I'm like, what else can this be? I don't even open it. I just bring it to work and let them open it for me there. But
I know your
yeah,
heart starts beating faster, right? You're like, oh, now what, right?
what did I do? But to have
Yeah.
somebody that can protect you in audit, because I've been audited by the IRS, and it wasn't even anything big. I just had to you know, send in some extra forms, but I freaked out. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to come and raid my house or whatever. And they weren't going to, but it's like you said, it's the fear. So this can take away that fear from you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And if a client or somebody wants to sign up for it, would they just reach out to you? Because I wouldn't direct them just to go to the Legal Shield website.
No, actually, if you go to the Legal Shield website, it's going to be more expensive. So
Oh,
I
we don't
will,
want that.
yeah, we don't do that. So I would say I'm gonna flip it and say, would they go to you?
Go to me and then they go to you. Yes.
Yeah, they would go to you, right? So they can absolutely go to you if it's something, that you have available. Then I would say they would go to you. And I'm happy. I'm here to support and answer any questions. As far as groups, right? If you're looking or you're listening to this and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this would be really great for my employees to have. That's something where you would work with me, and you're more than welcome, to reach out, and I can help you with that. But Legal Shield is one of the Legal Shield and ID Shield both are one of the two of the five most commonly requested voluntary benefits. And if you think about it from an employer standpoint, voluntary benefits the employee's paying for. As an FYI, we have a very large group discount. So your employees, if they're signing up as part of that group, just because it's a group, get a significant discount that even if they don't work with you anymore, they take that discount with them for the life of the membership. Because we want to honor that rate that they were given. But if you think about how distracting legal issues can be to your employees, Legal Shield is just another way to help support your employees. So whether it's a traffic ticket or, gosh forbid, if they get identity theft, that can be so overwhelming and so stressful. They're going to have trouble concentrating, right? But if they have this protection in place, then they're mentally able to be at least more present, right? It's less stressful. If they're renting a house and they're having landlord issues, things like that, right? That's overwhelming. Where if they can go into the app and schedule a call with someone, then that relief is there, and that stress is taken off of them, and they can focus on their work while they're at work. So it's a really great group benefit. But yeah, I would say, for individual or family plans, Colleen, I would recommend, they go to you,
Mhm.
and reach out directly. And then for group plans, I'm more than happy to work with you. I work with a lot of small businesses, um, and can serve them with that.
Thank you. So this was really valuable information, and I hope that many people take it and use it because everybody's going to need this. I feel like in the coming years to come, like you said, it's a very litigious world, especially in Florida. So everybody wants to sue everybody for everything. So thank you. Thank you again, Miss
You're
Angie,
so
for joining
welcome.
us.
Of
Thank you.
course. Thank you for having me. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thanks so much for listening and joining us. If you haven't already, please share, subscribe, and like our episodes and our podcast. Also, leave a review. It will be so helpful to us, and we would so appreciate it. Also, if you want to join us at any time, we're open to any guests joining us in person and on Zoom. We post and record episodes bi-weekly, so that's twice a month. Also, they're posted on our socials, which is Facebook, Secured Insurance Group, Instagram, Colleen Insurance Lady. This podcast was hosted by myself, Miss Colleen Pacheco, and recorded and produced and edited by Sean Spazzato. Our podcast cover art was designed and created by Norma Pacheco, and our intro and outro music is created by Lounge Bar by Geronic. Goodbye.